Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the black kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
And on 3-2-1, 1997, Sabrina the Teenage Witch is airing season 1, episode 19, Cat Showdown. Salem enters a cat show to make some fast cash, but Sabrina uncovers a fundraising or fur raising scandal.
This episode definitely for me begged the question: if these witches can do all these witchcrafty things and spells, why are you not living like in the lap of luxury? Why are you living a suburban life, this boring life? You could transport books to Egypt. You can do all this you could turn yourself into this and that. Seems like kind of a boring witchcrafty and loves, what's going on here? Did you guys fuck up somewhere? Is there like tax evasion in the witch world? Possibly, Steve?
Well, there's parts of their life that ABC didn't want to air.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I think, it's something seductive and erotic about Aunt Zelda. You got
both of
kind
them.
of.
I'll even give
Caroline
Ray, dude. She's fucking. She looks like she'd get crazy. Damn, there's some fan fiction there. There's some opportunity there, Steve. Zelda's bosoms glistened in the moonlight.
I've always liked Aunt Zelda. She's got that. I don't know. I like the way she talked. God damn it.
Yeah, dude. But boners aside, I'm kind of getting lost in the sauce over here, looking at her behind your shoulder. Yeah. But in this episode, I love this, Steve. Sabrina's got this cat, Salem. I'm actually not going to talk about it. We'll get to it when we actually meet Salem. But when this episode starts, Sabrina's in high school. There's a high school trip coming up. 40 bones. She can't magic up money, apparently. She's got to figure out a way to pay this. And her and her buddy, boy toy, Harvey, they can't afford it. And there's some rich girl that's like, hey, you little poor little pieces of shit. You can't afford that. Better off. See ya.
No funds for Funland for you.
I mean, goddamn, bitch. Is this Perrysburg, Steve?
I was totally thinking that, man. But back at Sabrina's crib, we see Salem the fucking cat. This is how wild the 90s were. Salem the cat is on the phone and he's trying to make an order for some shoe soles or some like shoe cleaner, and it's a cat. But anywho, he can't make the order because his credit card is maxed out.
This is like a Home Alone 2 situation, Steve. They're like, can we get a signature, please? No. Like, why, sir? I'm handicapped. Leave it at the door. I don't get it. I don't know how he applied. I don't know how he got the one credit card. He's saying multiple cards, plural, with an S, have been maxed out. So Salem, I don't know what the fuck he's buying. I guess he's trying to do some online business where he's like, reselling shit because he doesn't have feet or shoes. But Sabrina comes in. She's got money problems. He's got money problems. They're like, hey, you know what? Let's figure out something that's going to be mutual beneficial.
This is after Dauber from Coach shows up because he's the mailman, aka Patrick the starfish from SpongeBob, and he has a thing for Zelda, and I can't be mad at him. I had a thing for Zelda, and he's just like, I saw you talking to the FedEx man the other day, and I was wondering, is everything all right?
Because I killed him. What?
For you. That's okay.
Yeah. So she's not feeling it. Apparently he's a little pushy. He's been kind of like getting in people's faces for talking to her. He's a little possessive, and it's like stalkerish. And let's be honest, it's Dauber. Like, that's kind of scary. It's a slow, simple man, gigantic, coming at you, possibly stalking you. So I'd be a little weird about it. But Zelda, she's a witch. There's a magic way out of this, and apparently there's a potion, I think, that just repulses people if you drink it. You take a little sip, Dauber's gone because he thinks you smell like fish.
Anything will do. Those witches, they always have a plan brewing, man. And back to Sabrina's room, her and Salem are looking at the ads, trying to find a jobby job, something on the weekend, something part time, because we ain't got no funds to Funland, and my cat didn't maxed out his credit cards. So Salem, he spots an ad for a local Greater Boston cat show, a feline fest of sorts. And he's like, hey, you know what? Let's try our hand or paw in this. And the prize is 500.
500, man. You pick a street cat up and win one of those, Steve. Comb it up nice.
97, that was like $5 million.
Also, we find like he goes out of kayfabe. I don't know if I'm using that term right, but we find out what his last name is. Salem has a last name, and I think it's the last name of a famous hockey player, Saberhagen, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I know Brett Saberhagen is a Hall of Fame pitcher.
Okay, there we go. I knew he's an athlete, but maybe they're related. Maybe Brett had a little magic behind those pitches, Steve. Who knows?
Maybe that's why the Indians never won.
But they enter, we cut to the cat show, and what we see here when the cat show is introduced is just really kind of sad to me. It's people prancing around, there's a whole parade, and it just seems like something you don't want to walk in on, you know?
They're giving Tony Robbins pep talks and talking like they're coaches about to head into the rival football game. And
listen, you little motherfucker, I will kill. You got to do your best, kid.
Yeah, I'm dropping you off tomorrow, goddammit. You don't get this right. And like one of the contestants has a cat named Duke. Ironically, we were just talking about a dog named Duke just last week.
Whoa. Uh-oh. Conspiracy. It's magic, Steve. But that cat lady, she's overbearing like the little rich girl from the cafeteria. She's got a vibe just like that. They're like Karen energy. My Duke has fucking big muscles and he has, look at his fur. He's got that.
He's the returning champion.
We find out that the illustrious Bob Gordon, who is, I think, a local news anchor, he's the host of this or the judge of this. And boy, the guy has some voluptuous hair, Steve. Great.
Oh, yeah. I know him as Captain Kragen from Law & Order SVU.
I thought it was the guy from Alf, but it's not that guy.
At first, I thought, yeah. Oh, Alf. You do a better Alf dad than I do.
I can't. I'm not going to pull it out right now. But Salem, he's looking around the room. And I do like the one thing also I just thought was a funny gag is Sabrina's like talking to Salem out loud, as she does. And she's like, hey, man, we got to fucking chill out. People are going to think we're crazy. And Salem's like, hey, look around. And everybody's talking. Everybody's crazy. So there's no, yeah. And it's even more weird than what Sabrina's doing. She's just having a convo. But Salem notices some whisker extensions on Duke. There's a little shenanigans there. So that's going to come into play.
It's like spotting out somebody's weave. I found that hilarious, man.
Did you see that? Fucking
ain't even your real hair, bitch.
Duke's a little fucking cheater. But Salem gets into the top 3 easy peasy. And of course he would. If nothing else, he can talk. He'll whisper in the guy's ear and fucking that. I feel like you get to win there. But we get to a parade. Salem has to walk around. And this is gross. This is, if you go watch this, you know, chime in. Is this a nightmare? Is this fun? Is this some kind of just like face for a swing competition, like swingers event or something? Because I don't feel like dogs, they deserve the respect of this. Cats, it seems a little weird.
I like dogs more than cats, and I even hated the Westminster shit because it always take up the time slot of Raw. Like, damn, it's that time of the year again. So I hate the cat show even more so. And, you know, they're doing the cha-cha, they're doing the electric slide, and all of these little Mark Summers obstacle courses. Eventually, Salem, he gets the best of breed because he's an American short hair and darn proud of it.
And he does that by showing off math skills, Steve. There's like, what's 5 + 2? And he, you know, puts his little cute paw on the number. It's like, this thing's nailing it. I don't know.
That's
Somebody calls somebody. This might be some kind of record, or maybe you need some science in on this, but it's easy peasy. This is easy work, Steve. He's a magic cat. So, I mean, put a spell on these people. You could win, just cheat. You know, that's what I'm saying. Magic exists, Steve. What are these people thinking? Just make some money, for fuck's sake.
yeah.
But I
We didn't know the right cats.
We get the best of breed here, where like they're giving out ribbons. And does everybody win a ribbon? Because everyone's getting a ribbon, Steve.
Well, at least the main cast with speaking roles in this episode, because I saw people in the background as just like, I guess it was like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Royal Rumble. Like, yeah, you're the 20th entry or 12th entry. We're just, yeah, you're just here to just be here. Go in the
shut
back
up.
Yeah.
And as we go, this is all happening. Zelda and Hilda go to a witch beauty shop, Steve. And there's a pushy salesperson. She's a bitch. Even in magic stores, there's this kind of level of service. And I don't like that. Haven't they figured that out?
Stereotypically, she has to be Asian because it's set up like a beauty parlor, like a hair salon or something, a hair store. Instead of getting some Dax wave grease or some sporting waves, you get a bottle of repulsion. And that's what Zelda came to get, because she wants to get mailman SpongeBob out of her face.
Yeah, Dauber's getting real. He's looking into fucking second story windows because he can do that because he's a giant. But Hilda's walking around here. She's window shopping. She picks up a mirror, and it just shows you as like your best self. So you pick this thing up. I got a full head of hair, voluptuous, well-trimmed beard. It shows you what you want to see, basically. She doesn't get it. Or maybe she does, and she's going to give it to somebody. But what she does do, Steve, is helps herself to a little de-stress mint at the front of the store. But you're supposed to pay for those. And these mints, if you don't pay, have a weird side effect where it turns you into a little person, Steve. Bridget, the little person, that's what happens here. And it's really weird looking. I love the transformation.
Yeah, I mean, because she does look like a miniature Caroline Ray, like the same little bob cut and everything.
Turn me back. So, she goes from that to just regular Caroline Ray again. She does get turned back. We go back to the show. Now, I think at this point, Salem's actually won Best of Show, or he's won something to get him to Best of Show. There's another part of the competition, right?
Yeah, they're wrapping up day one. This is like the Masters tournament. So, like, he's closing up shop, the judge, and it's just him, Sabrina, and Salem. And Sabrina leaves, and, right after she leaves, the judge gets a call, and immediately you can hear him saying, like, no way, I'll give you anything you want. And it's like, what the hell is going on? Now, Salem, being a magical cat, is overhearing this, and it seems like Bob Gordon is being blackmailed.
Because of some kind of photo. And, in my mind, I think we all know, like, what we think. But Bob's like, anything you want. And what the person wants, Best in Show, Steve. It's that level of fucking just straight blackmail at a cat show, a regional cat show.
Greater Boston, man. This is all the bragging rights. This is big business in Greater Boston.
Well, Salem knows. Sabrina, who's been out of the room, comes back, and I think sees the Mr. Gordon, and she's like, "Oh, hey," because they were like kind of vibing about everything and had like a really good rapport. She's leaving, and Ed's like, "Hey, shut the fuck up, bitch." He just like, he might as well have smushed her. He's just like, "Hey, I gotta go. Bye. Enough."
Like, so he takes off, and Sabrina gets the intel from Salem. So she goes into the office to try to, find that picture and see what the hell is going on. And while she's doing that, Bob Gordon comes back. He's like, "Oh man, I forgot this. Thought I'll close that door." So As he goes to the office to try to close the door, Salem gives Sabrina the alert. Oh, they work good. That's good teamwork, like Scotty and Jordan, man.
Oh yeah, dude. And she has no. It's not like she. Well, I don't know what her abilities are, Steve, but one of her abilities is to just transform herself Animorph style into a cat.
There's that.
She Mrs. McGarnagles herself, and guy comes in, sees her, is like, "Oh my god, what a beautiful cat! How weird! I've never seen this cat at the show that I've been at all day. Weird. You're out," but he throws her in a cage, leaves, and that puts Sabrina in a weird spot because I guess she can't do spells without thumbs. But bitch, you turned yourself into the cat originally. You did it. You don't know how to do it without the thumbs, but she can't. She's stuck in a cage. She's a cat. What's gonna happen, Steve? We go to commercial. I think she's dead. She's gonna fucking starve. I don't know. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, they didn't even explain how the aunts found out what's going on, but they basically saved the day. They come to the ward room and they turn Sabrina back into a person. And
Can I ask one question that this specifically makes me wonder? Maybe this is covered in another episode. This happens, right? Sabrina gets turned from a herself to a cat back to herself. Is Salem a human being that just never turned back into a human being? He can talk.
he has a backstory. My recollection of this show is fuzzy. This is the tail end of the TGIF run, and from the Department of the Redundancy Department, we were becoming teens, Matt.
Yeah. I'm going to fill in the blanks and say he got into a real heavy coke binge, got in deep with somebody in the magic community, and turned himself into a cat to escape whatever the consequences are of that. Possibly like an OD of like a chick he was with. She snorted too much magic dust and died, So, we're moving the pieces around. We'll figure it out. But Sabrina's fine. Very easy fix. Like you said, very convenient. The ants walk. She's like, I can't change back. Next scene, ants walk in like, hey, where's Sabrina at? She's right there. She's changed back.
That's simple.
We go back to the house now. Hilda and Zelda find out about the blackmail. And they're like, well, how are we going to figure out what this photo is? Or like, what's going on here? We need to see what the photo is. And I don't remember exactly what they do. They do some sort of like reverse point of view spell, right?
A reverse spell. It's like an Adobe Photoshop undo or something. But, in the 90s, these witches could do that in real time. And, they see in the picture, like all they could see is a hand.
Because it reverses like the picture was taken. So it basically flips the point of view so you can see whatever was behind the camera. Which isn't much because it's usually somebody's face smushed up against the fucking camera, which is exactly what they see, Steve.
But they do see a hand and a gnarled off index finger.
Oh, God. So, I mean, they got something to go off of. This is just like detective work, one step at a time here. So now they got to go to the show. And Sabrina's like talking to everybody like, hey man, what's up? Number one, am I right? How about you? Let's see. She's just trying to look at people's hands, So that's kind of weird, but you got to figure out who's the fucking culprit here. She can't figure out it because I think everybody has like gloves on or something. Like conveniently, you can't see any fingers.
Like the guy has his hands in gloves, and the main lady, she has her hands covered. So yeah, either way, their hands are concealed. And once they do reveal their hand, everyone is missing an index finger.
Everybody had some kind of catastrophic fingering injury that occurred. And yeah, so they can't point at anything. Can't even flick you off, really. So that's not going to help.
And Sabrina's had enough of this shit. Like, man, I'm not getting to the root of this. You know what? Hey, Bob, come to the office. I need to holler at you for a quick minute. So I know what's going on, and I know your story. I know what you're trying to hide. And he's like, no, shut up, girl that used to be on a Nickelodeon show. This means my whole career. I can't be seen in public as a bald guy. You know, people only want to see people on TV with hair.
I think that's true, Steve. Tell me a bald newscaster.
Does
I'll
sports
wait.
count?
No.
Hmm.
And he's right. And that's the judgment that we all need to improve, guys. Look, don't judge a book by his cover. But Mr. Gordon, he's like, dude, I've been wearing rugs since I was in college going to frat parties. Like, I can't, at this point, Big Beluga and Boner from Kappa Psi, I can't let them know that the shit's gone. I was fucking, that's my thing. I'm Fabio. That was my name back in fucking school.
And I can empathize with that, Bob Gordon. It's not fair. It's not fair.
That's why I'm wearing a
They-
hat, Steve. I get it. I sympathize. Like, man's fucking in pain.
Yeah. They
Fuck
say it's
it.
on the maternal side. Yeah, it's the mom's dad. So I've been told. But
Well, that's bullshit. Because my grandma's dad had fucking hair, and I'm losing it. So I don't know what the fuck's going on, Steve. And I'm with it. Mr. Gordon, sir. Fuck it. Throw this shit. No one cares anyway.
and it's so obvious, Bob Gordon. Like, you know, I knew what the blackmail was. This is my first time, I think, watching this show. I've seen this show back in the day, but this specific episode, as I'm watching this, I was like, I got a pretty good inkling what they're blackmailing. It couldn't be this obvious mop on the top, is it? Oh,
Dude, I mean, dude had me fooled, Steve. You must have cat eyes. Wink, wink. Because, you know, I got to say, he was pulling it off. But at this point, we think he's not going to throw it. So we cut to later, right? Mr. Gordon, we think he's going to throw this shit. But he's picking up Duke. He's like, look, guys, Duke's clearly been the best cat here. He's about to throw the shit. He's looking at Duke, and he sees his own reflection in the cat's eyes. And he's like, God, I can't look myself in this fucking cat's eyes and do this. So he gets the courage up and he outs himself as a bald man, Steve. He pulls the rug off, pulls the rug out from Duke, and Duke's owner, the just quaint little bitch of whatever this Karen woman is, she's like, Duke, this is a lie. Because I think also they bring up the fucking whisker thing, and she's like, this is all natural, bitch.
You got extensions, ho. Yeah, so Karen and her Duke, they got DQ'd. And so the scene is set up for Salem to be the best in show. And for a moment, he is best in show until Bob Gordon remembers, oh, whatever happened to that blonde cat?
That exquisite blonde cat.
Had a profound impact on me. I just met it last night. And Sabrina, quick on her toes, because she explains it all. She's like, you know what? I know where that cat is. And within a millisecond, comes back, the blonde cat is there. And, you know, they treated Salem like Ken Shamrock in Royal Rumble. It's like, you're the Intercontinental Champ. Psych.
Huh? So Salem's into his feels a little bit. But at the end of the day, Steve, they got what they needed to get done. You know? Mission accomplished. Bag secured. I don't know I guess they're splitting it 50-50. I don't know what 250 is going to ding out on a maxed out credit card bill, but maybe pay an interest payment, Salem. I don't know. Maybe consolidate. These are financial terms I've heard adults use, so try one of those. Good luck.
Well, Sabrina did say it was enough for her and Harvey to go to Funland and enough to pay off those debts. So, hey, it's 1997.
Yeah, money goes a long way back then.
Yeah, 500 can get you to Antarctica probably. But Aunt Zelda, she's still got this mailman to fend off. And she's got the repulsion. And in the final scene, he's just like, you know what? I'm sorry if I was overbearing, blah, 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 blah. I'm a starfish in a cartoon. And she's like, you know what? Why don't you come in? You want some coffee? I'm not doing a good Aunt Zelda.
Oh, this is happening. He actually goes, this is happening. That is not what you want somebody to say when you're walking into your house, but you know fucking Zelda's going to get hers. I'm sure, I guess she drinks it or gives it to him. I don't know. I don't know how this fucking magic shit works, but she starts developing a little scrumdiddlyumptious on the nose there, Steve. She's turning into a. He sees what I envision as a real witch. You know, word on the nose type witch. You know what I'm saying?
And some bunny teeth, but that still doesn't fade him.
He brought over some Omaha steaks too that somebody just didn't pick up. So she's getting fucking prime cuts of meat and maybe some dauber meat too, Steve.
Yeah, he's trying to drop off some other kind of sirloin too.
Coincidentally, I got another type of meat for you right here. Bring that weird little wart over here, baby. Let me suck on that real quick.
Trying to get T-boned. You know, shout out to Melissa Joan Hart, man. She don't get enough credit. I think she's one of the coolest, you know, when it comes to child actors. You know, I talk about this a lot. I wouldn't put her as high as top 5, but I thought she kind of had like a lane of her own because she wasn't really a movie. She was really TV back in the day. You know?
She's humble now too. We saw her at like 90s con and stuff. Like they did a panel and she seems like, you know, she's totally into it. She knows what she was. She's into like the fandom and definitely encourages people to just like love and rewatch the stuff. So you'll love to see that. And she's doing good. She, you know, it's not like a crazy like child star story like we get so many times.
Yeah. Bonus points. You didn't get on that pipe. You were a child actor and you didn't get on that pipe.
You have bad breath caused by gingivitis. You couldn't get a porn star off